Good luck, good luck.
Do you upload to YouTube or?
Yeah.
I saw one of your videos.
Yeah.
I do indeed upload to YouTube. Hello, once again. We are here with another draft commentary. Starting with the Intrepid Paleontologist, a card which I like very much. Nice little mana dork. We see Upenbach, we see Atali's Favor, see Join the Dead. All, I would say, reasonable first picks, but I think Paleontologist is excellent early and late. Fits in a nice spot in the curve. Definitely not in the strongest color, but also leaves you open to being able to splash a little more easily. And if you just get there with on the Dino deck, then it's just pretty insane in its full potential. We're going to be following that up. We see a Dawn Runner, totally solid. Idol's fine. Axjaw's great, but Waterwind Scout here. Unfortunately in the same pack as an Oaken Siren as well. A lot of great picks in both of these first two packs, but Waterwind Scout, top 2 common in the set, in the best color in the set, and we're just going to stay nice and open here.
I love cats, and so I just like get up in their face and then get really bad.
Right off the top here, Duskrow's Reliquary, very powerful removal spell. Pirate Hat's fine, Altar's fine, Another Chance is fine. Nothing else to really write home about here. Unfortunately, it is a third color, but at this point, obviously, still just looking to take the strongest cards that I see. Stay as open as possible. Scallywag, Cenote Scout are both great picks. The Torch, the King Collar, again, these packs, the Tomb Raider as well, these packs have been bangers. Talking to the cat there. Alex's cat, Gray. Having just taken the Duskrow's Reliquary, I think leads me... I mean, I do think it's pretty easy to argue that Clayfired Bricks is the best card in this pack. So that, in addition to having just taken a strong white card, makes me lean towards Clayfired Bricks. Just a little harder than a lot of these very reasonable choices. The Dino obviously would be nice. I would like to get there on dinos with my Paleontologist, but yeah, just can't pass up Bricks. Here I would say is just truly an oversight, kind of a mistake of a pick on my part. I think I go with the Helping Hand here, knowing that I have a couple of nice 2 and 3 drops that I would love to recur. In addition to maybe sending a signal, cutting off white. But I do think that the colorless 2-drop with upside here to stay open and fill a slot on the curve is probably the correct choice here, in hindsight. Taking a little look here. Having a little discussion on the Discord. We'll see that it would have been pretty reasonable for me to end up black here in this draft, spoiler alert. Pretty easy pick here with the Miner's Guidewing, I think. After taking a bunch of good white cards, just another primo white common. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. There's definitely an argument to be made that I should have ended up in black here. Though I'm still not totally convinced that my black, the black version of my deck would have been stronger necessarily. It begins here with this Join the Dead over a lot of filler. Capybara is kind of whatever. Quicksand Whirlpool would be fine, but still not something I'm... I think Join the Dead is enough better than Quicksand Whirlpool here, where I'm still trying to be open to the possibility of being black. So that's the other thing, is that I was definitely considering it at multiple points throughout this draft. Mostly filler here. I think Archaeologist is a totally fine one of at the top end of most white decks, so I think I'm just going to go with that here.
Nice.
Where was that? What were you playing, like Back Colony and Leech, or like more of a control captivating?
Not playing either of those, but I was playing the blue creature that's like
So my black so far is just the one, Join the Dead, but we'll keep an eye on that going forward. And here we see another chance. At this point, though, Waterwind Scout is still one of the best cards in my pile, so I think that leads me to maybe pick another blue card where I can. Yeah, I have one green, one blue, and one black card, and a bunch of white, so I know I'm playing white. I'm not taking Family Reunion, though, so it's between another chance and Pirate Hat here, and blue is just where I would rather end up, so I end up taking the Pirate Hat. Seen acrobatically, we do see the king color on the wheel here, and this is going to be one of the picks that swings me in the direction of green over black by the end. Again, spoiler alert. Do end up mostly green-white. Here we see nothing really. Second Pirate Hat is a lot less valuable than the first. But maybe cutting blue here would have been the preferable choice. I do also kind of imagine some sort of green-white self-mill thing. Get them back with Paleontologists and Helping Hands, plural, as we see a second one come here. Nothing else to take here, obviously.
I love when people murder themselves with that.
But if it starts, you know.
Taking a look at my curve and the cards that I would like to play. I think ideally here I'm looking to be either blue-white or green-white. As you can see, I have my blue card still pulled up to the front here. Green slightly behind. And then the lone Join the Dead is, you know, obviously very playable, but not a big pull for me into black. I think I've just been burned playing black decks, even ones that have really gotten there so many times. Even I've had black decks that get exactly what you're looking for and have still performed pretty poorly in team draft settings. So I think I have deprioritized the color in general in this format. Here we open a Belligerent and a Ruin Lurker Bat and a Sunborn. I'm going to be a little sad to pass this pack, but Ruin Lurker Bat is just pretty absurd. Tinker's Toad and Petrify as well. Pretty wild. Some great blue here too. Just no dearth of playables out of this pack, which will play in my favor, as we'll see in a little bit here. But yeah, Ruin Lurker Bat, when I know that I'm mostly white, just seems like it can take the edge here. Followed up with a much weaker pack here, but here we do see the black. We see Cave Crawler and we see Bartolome, the signpost. Black, white, uncommon. Plundering Pirate's totally fine, but not as my first red card. I think Stinging Cave Crawler is fine. A lot of the times it's just kind of a 3-mana 1/3 Death Touch, which is fine. It will often draw you a card before trading off. It's still not something that I'm excited to get into black for. And Bartolome has been more of a trap than anything. Yeah, I prioritize a cave land pretty highly here. Second picking an on-color cave. Now we see Tithing Blade, Bristleback. I think this, and another Cave Crawler. I think this was the big inflection point of, like, if I were to have ended up black, it would have been based on this pivot right here. But even then, I think Tithing Blade, Cave Crawler, Another Chance, they're all totally fine. They don't pair as well with white, though, which is what I know I'm playing. If I had ended up black white, those would have been fine playables. That would have made the deck, but I'm still not convinced that I was supposed to take it here, and I believe just end up going with the Bristleback, which is just great with my my first pick, the Paleontologist. Cycle it away and then get it back later. And then this is just solidifying my position with an Axe Jaw here, one of the best green commons. Over not much else to speak of here. So yeah, please let me know if you would have ended up black-white in this draft and why. Bartolome's could obviously have been strong here. I do have some things to sacrifice to it, like the clay-fired bricks. I saw a Tinker's Toad. I had to pass one earlier, though. And here's Bartolome number 2. But, again, as I sort of solidified myself in green a little bit with the last couple picks, I'm just going to keep going down that route with the Cavern Stomper here. Could have had double Bartolome, Tithing Blade, Join the Dead. I think it's totally reasonable to and possibly correct to end up black-white in this seat. The blue is pretty much out of the question at this point. And yeah, Sandwing, again, goes great with the game plan of land cycle away the big dinos early and get them back later with Paleontologist. I do prioritize these land cyclers a bit higher in team draft over, for example, best of one on Arena. The format's just going to be noticeably slower most of the time. You're not going to get punished nearly as often for taking turn 2 off to land cycle. And we see the Sunborn on the wheel. Iceberg is notable here on the wheel, but definitely not for me. Nothing else to speak of here. Sunborn is just hugely powerful. And I'm going to be looking for ways to splash it in the future. Here comes the Bartolome. Obviously, nobody else wants any of this action either. I think, I should have mentioned that I saw the person to my right first pick Throne, the Grim Captain, so I think I hate pick Echo of Dusk here, just knowing that that's going to be a premium pickup for a Grim Captain deck. And here we just see all the black in the world coming around on the wheel. I think I prioritize Tithing Blade here over Cave Crawler and Another Chance. Yeah. Landmark is going to be totally fine for me, especially having just picked up the Sunborn. Looking to have some, and there's the other Bartolome on the wheel. I still am thinking that, 1, my green cards are strong and I would like to play them. 2, I would like to use my Paleontologist to help splash a Sunborn. And 3, even if I did have double Bartolome, I just don't see myself going off with it, really. I don't necessarily, my best sacrifice targets at this point are the clay-fired bricks, but I would just as likely, I'm actually more likely to want to just craft them in the late game rather than sack them away for an extra +1/+1 on my 2-drop. That's kind of my thought process here. I'm definitely fighting against the prescribed, where my seat is supposed to be a little bit, but I just haven't been impressed with the black-white deck, especially in a 6-person pod where it's much less likely to come together. And yeah, I've got some good removal. Join the Dead Tithing Blade. But they can also be clunky and situational. So I don't let that guide my picks too much. Here we see Abuela's Awakening. At this point, my... I just don't think the card is super strong in the first place, but also I'm more creature-based than artifact-based, and not likely to get artifacts into the graveyard very easily. There's also an Ukbenbach, notably, which could be kind of rough to pass, but my main thought here is that I picked up a Caprocti Sunborn that I would like to splash. And so the Compass Gnome becomes more of a priority pickup here, as much as it kind of hurts to first pick one. Here we see some, a 2-drop. We see the Defossilize and Geological Appraiser. Notably, I think you could see there the person to my left first picked the red god from this pack. So passing Geological Appraiser could be potentially painful, but he also made a comment as he picked it saying, "I can't pass this," which led me to believe that he wasn't necessarily in red. So that made the Appraiser a little bit easier to pass. I can see the white 2-drop being the pick here. I end up going with Seedstones. I just think I'm looking for a couple more solid late game options at this point. The Tinker's Tote, and the Battleglyph and another Clay-Fired Bricks. Again, lots of great stuff here after seeing basically nothing in the first 2 packs. Yeah, Clay-Fired Bricks is just a house of a card, though. And having 2 in the deck really made the whole thing come together. They played really well together, play off each other, enhance each other. It's a game plan, for sure. Some nothing up here, Brackish Blunder, and a Micro Tyrant, and another Duskrose Reliquary. Again, Micro Tyrant, I give it... Oh, and a Join the Dead as well. I give some thought to doing a hate pick here with the Micro Tyrant, but after seeing all the black going around, I'm not super worried that somebody is on a Descend strategy. So, and they're also just being another good black playable in the pack. Duskrose Reliquary is just excellent for me. So that has to be the main concern, the main thought. Yeah, you'll see I end up with a lot of black cards in my pile later. Market Gnome would be fine for me. Aspirant would also be good for me, but Tinker's Tote number 2 just, I think, really brings the room together. Now I'm just on a Clay-Fired Bricks plan. Use the totes to craft them later. Go wide, bump my board. Maybe recur some land cycling dino threats. little sad too. I would also love the aspirant here, but at this point I'm not quite as on the aggressive side, so I go with the Tinker's Tote, the slightly more defensive go wide. Here we see Sandwing again, especially good in my Paleontologist deck. Master's Guide Mural is worth a thought here, but I'm already looking to splash a red card that I think is better than the Guide Mural in the first place, so don't give too much thought to a second color splash. Here the thought was between hate picking and Upenbach or taking this acrobatic leap. Again, I'm just, in general, have not been impressed by these black Descend decks. So if somebody else wants to prove me wrong, take it and show me. But this acrobatic leap was just excellent for me. Just made combat a breeze in multiple scenarios. Again here, just having past Upenbach, there's nothing for me here really, so probably just hate picking something. I passed an Appraiser earlier, so I guess I'll hate pick the Burning Sun to make a potential red deck slightly less aggressive. Here we see another Tinker's Tote or another Bristleback. And yeah, again, same thing, Tote. I'm in the market for making gnomes, going wide, pumping them with the bricks. And I've already got at least 2, maybe 3 land cyclers at this point. Looks like just 2, but that's total. Nope, that's 3. 2 Sandwings and a Bristleback. Pretty clear that nobody is interested in the black at this point, but might as well just take it. Over basically nothing here. The Brackish Blunder, I guess, arguable that that was a better hate pick in this position, seeing as nobody was going to have a strong black deck at the table. Yeah, in hindsight, I do think Brackish Blunder would be the correct hate pick here, but I don't think that is of huge importance. A lot of decks that want a Brackish Blunder also want to join the dead, so who knows. And coming into the last few here, Malamet Veteran's not going to be turned on very often for me, so just take a Glimpse of the Core. Maybe I'll need a little bit of ramp. Deathcat Marionette, just again would have been a fine playable in a potential black deck, but it's not really doing anything. It's not good sack fodder, and my mix of creatures and artifacts means I wouldn't have a great join the dead sort of, or another chance, I mean, sort of deck. So I'm really just taking these as the best playables in the packs here. I think this is greatly informed by last week's team draft where I was on. I do think, you know, I could not have asked for a better version of the Golgari Descend deck. Double Chupacabra, triple Another Chance, some Marionettes, a Snail, a Join the Dead. Oh, I don't think I had Join the Dead. I had a Deadweight though. Defossilize. It was really, really good, and the deck still only played out okay. So having essentially just a hodgepodge of black and white cards was not a very exciting prospect for me. We're about to get our final pick here. Another black card, sure, why not?
Upstairs room to build
And here we're going to take a look at my final build. Splashing the Sunborn off of Mountain Paleontologist Compass Gnome. It's just not an ideal splash, but I do have a bunch of land cyclers to help with the mana as well. We see Rob, 2 spaces to my right, also end up in green-white, also splashing a red card with Gwendorius right there. So that's pretty funny. And then Alex over here with Is It Artifacts? Really nice looking version of it here. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think, and see you next time.